What's up, folks? This is Sinulab, and welcome back to another episode of Utopia. Let's get started. So I did talk to Micronaut and to Lord Evil J regarding the genetics machines and the bug that you can only craft the MJ ones that do us no good. That's interesting that Wayla says it says RF, but it is the MJ one, which is completely useless. So they agreed that as long as I craft the machines, there's no issue with cheating in a copy that actually works, and then just they can ditch this one. So that's all good. I am on my way then to work on genetics because I got to get these bees working at nighttime. I got to get them working during the rain. If they're indoors, you don't have to have a clear line of sight to the sky and all that good stuff. So I have, as you can see, greatly expanded the tree farm. Not the tree farm, the sugarcane farm, because I want to make a lot of ethanol. Got 2 drones working for me now. Got some stories to talk about in Mattercraft, but yeah, they are collecting sugarcane at a very good rate. I'm actually got this turned on right now, slowly making more, but made a first still here. I think I'm going to make a few more from what I learned. From what I've read, the fermenter works much faster than a still can keep up with, so I'll probably end up making a few of these. We'll see though, we'll see. Anyway, I'm thinking of making a second floor over on the B side now because I want to start moving all the stuff required for making the genetics over there. Well, not the farm, but maybe the ethanol making and the biomass, maybe. Might actually work on just filling drums up with ethanol. It really depends on how quickly I go through the ethanol with the machines. I don't know that. I've done some testing with the machines in a creative world just to see how they're used now. They're much different than the version in our previous world, but I was, of course, using creative power and creative liquids. Actually, that's not true. I just kept putting buckets into a barrel. Not a barrel, a drum. But anyway, I'm going to build a second floor here and start to get some things organized. You know, this is getting a little out of control. This is way too tall. Can't see out the window behind it. And get stuff up there. I'm going to have a lot of genetics. I use drums right now for storage. They're nice. I used big steel, I don't even know, in the last world, but they were big contraptions. For holding lots of liquid. The drums can hold a lot of liquid and they don't take up much room. So we'll see how well that suits me. But I'm going to start it on that and like that. Hey folks, so here is the new setup with some high pressure tubes. But oh man, I had some real issues yesterday. I don't even really understand what the heck the problem was. So we've got a valve here, and I had to make this manometer to read the pressure because Wayla lies to you. It just flat out lies. It does, trust me. It was doing it all yesterday. But anyway, I've got this to let air out at 5. These pipes can definitely hold 5. And I've got this reading to like turn it off at 5 and turn it back on at 4. And a regulator here that has a threshold of 4.5. So from here on, it's never above 4.5. So yesterday, here I am slowly increasing the pressure here. Now the first time I did it, I had the advanced PC boards in both this valve and this gauge so that I could read all the way up to 20 psi that the compressor will put out and that these high pressure tubes can handle. Got up to about 7 psi and it just exploded. I lost not too many things. I was scared that I worried that I lost the drone, but I didn't. So I rebuilt it and you know, I was trying it again and the same thing happened. And I think the first time was because I was going off of what Wayla was telling me, and Wayla was lying after I built this manometer, and it says 4.5 and like Wayla was saying 1.2, and that's of course not right. So I blame the first explosion on that, but the second explosion, I was clicking these pipes and I was making sure pressure was maintained at 4.5 here on out, and that, you know, this was only going up to 7, and it exploded again. And a third time, and the third time I lost everything except for the Steve's Factory Manager, Inventory Manager piece. It was really, really sad. So I rebuilt it here, and I'm just maintaining the 5 PSI, and I'm just going to leave it. I'm not touching it anymore because I don't understand what the problem is. These high-pressure tubes can handle that, right? Max pressure 20, and I had it up to 7 or 6, and they exploded in both conditions. So, I don't know. Maybe that's a bug that'll be fixed in 1.0.3, or maybe I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but it's working fine now. I've got 2 charging stations so that both drones can charge at the same time if that ever needs to happen, and I've seen it happen, so that's good. They're not waiting in line. And so like that, Pneumaticraft can just sit right there for now. I'm going to get into bees, get some genetics, and oh, there's something we can do. I do have the pieces to make some AE stuff. Yes. Let me wrap my head around what I have here. This is for the crafting terminal. I think this is the drive, and I think this is the 4K. So let's see here. I think the pattern for the drive was something like this. Excellent. All right. There, here. And so the 4K, this thing took a while to make. Whew. Glad I've automated those. That's a nice. Now I'm probably going to get this wrong because I don't remember what it was. It was the 4K was down here. Oh, I need redstone. No, I have redstone. Very good. All right, better than a chest, you bet. 4K storage. And the crafting terminal. I think I need to make the regular terminal first. Why does that shift on me? So regular terminal, no. Did I make the regular terminal? No, I'm not even carrying the pieces. No, I didn't make the regular terminal. But do that now. Very good. And now that we've got that, we get the crafting terminal. All right. Getting some achievements because things are good. So I'm going to pretty up where these things are placed, but let's just hook them up real quick here to make sure everything is just hunky-dory. Just plop that down there. Hook it up. And just slap that right there for now. Put the 4K in there. And look at that. We've got AE storage. That thing's using 1 type and 63 bytes. Very good. All right, we have AE working. Gonna need more drives to really utilize what I have to store in it, but I made those pieces. Glad I showed you guys. Got it all hooked up now. Don't have to get into too many cables yet with channels, not until I get many more things connected to it, but I'm sure we'll get there soon enough. But anyway, I'm going to get started on some building with the bee area and be back. Alright folks, I just decided to dig a hole in the ground, get some power up here so we can start just cooking some of the biomass and ethanol. Got it going into this little 256 bucket barrel, not this 65 a million bucket, but you know, you do what you can. Thinking about just bringing this over to, because this is the final product, this is what we need, ethanol. So this will just be brought over to the bee area that I'm going to set up over here. I started to put up, excuse me, got a ceiling up here for the floor on the top there. Made sure there was glass here so the bees are happy during the day. Didn't really want to move this whole thing up there, right? Just we can do all the genetic work up here. Just leave these open for now until we get all bees not caring whether or not they're exposed to the air or not. But first thing I need to make genetics-wise now is some incubators. I've got the ethanol. Now I need to make the enzymes, and that's going to require an incubator. I need, let's see here, I've got some notes. I need an incubator to make the liquid growth medium, which will require water, sugar, and bone meal. And then with the liquid growth medium plus wheat in a separate incubator to make bacteria. And then in the third incubator, bacteria plus more sugar to make the enzyme. Boy, it's a good thing we got a sugarcane farm going, huh? So I'm going to make those 3 incubators and then talk to Micronaut. He's online right now along with a few other folks. Nice. And get them traded for the RF ones that actually work. All right. I will be back when I have them made. All right, folks. We have the pieces to make 3 of these incubators. This is the RF pattern that takes the redstone reception coil, and you'll get to see the bug here. So I should be able to make the one that says RF, right? Nope, it says MJ. Yep, that's the bug. It's the only one you can make. So now that I've got them though, plop them down. Yeah, MJ. Yeah, that's not what we need. And I'll bet you we can't power it. I even tried powering it with a energy transfer node, and yeah, that didn't work. So let's try, let's see, the front side. Let's just turn them all on. Yeah, no, it's not getting any power. So that's just a problem. I'm going to call Mr. Micronaut over to my base and switch these for ones that actually will charge with RF. Tried and creative, and it certainly does work. Might as well get this gene pool switched into one that works also, right? All right. I'll be back when I've got them changed. Hey folks, so I went over to Micronaut's place and got these machines swapped out for ones that are powered by RF. Now there's even still a bug. No, it's not really a bug, it's a UI glitch. This mouse over here, it still says MJ, but that's okay. That's just a UI thing. This one says RF, and I know in my creative testing that that's all we need. So we've got 3 incubators in the gene pool that are going to actually take a charge. Oh, I just want to see it happen, because it should just be able to connect to that. Oh, look at that. It's got a charge. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So we're golden. I'm going to set those up there and start to get some enzymes made. Make a nice chain of incubators here to get that going. All right, I will be back. Hey folks, I just thought these numbers were ridiculously close to have to share with you there. 14 by 64, that matches, and this 32, switched it around, it becomes 23. It's actually pretty cool. Let's lock that. Just working on making the pieces for the growth medium. Takes bone meal and sugar mixed together, creates the growth medium. So I'm going to get a little Steve's Factory Manager up here to make that. That will go here, and we'll get an aqueous accumulator down there. We'll pump it up with some tubes and have it follow this Ender IO pipe. To give you some water in there, and that'll give us our liquid growth medium. That's step 1. All right, folks, we are making enzymes. We've got Steve's Factory Manager helping us out here. We've got our incubators all set up in a row in a chain reaction of goodness to make what we need. So let's see here. We've got the first one. It's grabbing the water from below. We've got an aqueous accumulator down there. Steve's Factory Manager is crafting growth medium and keeping them stocked up in here. And that's just the bone meal and the sugar. And the liquid growth media that gets constructed gets pumped up over to here. Steve's Factory Manager keeps this stocked up with wheat. I've got it turned off right now. I think I've already said that, but that's why it's running a little bit low. But the growth media that sits in here, and then it makes bacteria, and bacteria is getting pumped up over to here to mix in with more sugar that Steve's Factory Manager keeps stocked up here, and then it makes the enzymes. And then Steve's Factory Manager again pulls it out and puts it in here. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I actually replanted some wheat down there because we're going to be needing it. And very good. So we have ethanol, we have enzymes, so we have what we need to get a gene pool working. And that was the last thing that I got swapped out with Mr. Micronaut earlier today. So we can start cooking down a lot of those extra bees that we've got stocking up in our chests and our filing cabinets. Oh my goodness, so many bees. So many bees. Actually, these ones I want to keep. This is the chest of ones I want to keep of the number of copies. But these, These are just, look at this. They just keep coming out. There's so many in here. Oh, so many bees. Yeah, so we're going to be able to cook all these down and get liquid DNA. And then from there, we're going to go places. I'll be back. All right, folks, we are making raw DNA. We got our gene pool set up here that's taken the ethanol that we've got constructed, the enzymes that we've got being crafted, and any bees that we drop into this chest here. Threw in half a stack of some Majestics that we had just to get the 320, just to make sure everything is working. But as we know, we have got more bees than I know what to do with. So we can just grab like stacks and stacks of these bees. Throw them into this chest. Who knows, I might even need to get a bigger chest. They'll just get dropped right into the gene pool, and slowly but surely they will get broken down. Now each one of these bees, and I don't know if it's, breed specific, but these ones anyway give 10 per. Maybe that's probably across them all, but we've got a lot of bees, so we're going to get a lot of raw DNA. So the next things I want to work on in this chain is the isolator for all the genes that we need to, well, isolate, the analyzer for things that get isolated, and I think we're going to stop right there for right now. I've got a few more things to look up and read about, but those are the two machines we're going to work for next, and Micronaut's online today, so we'll get those swapped out. This is actually the next day for me because I'm recording earlier, but anyway, I don't think I ever really showed this. I touched upon it when I threw all this down saying I was happy I did it, but this is actually my auto crafting for all of the engineering, all the processor different types, right? I've got 5 of these inscribers, I think that's what they're called. Yes, inscribers. This one does the calculation, engineering, got the other 2 over here. And Steve's Factory Manager, it just puts things where they need to go and it finds them in here. And we'll craft you ultimately in this last blank one the processor you need. So if we take like a diamond and we take a redstone and a silicone, we can just drop all 3 of these in here. And it makes sure that all the pieces are in here, so it won't do anything with just these 2, although it'll grab that and it'll press it, but it won't do anything until it finds the pressed version of whatever this is. The gold is going over here, we got the silicone's already done. And once those are done, the pieces will be thrown over to here like you see right there, and rock and roll. Everything just ends up over here in a completed fashion. So that was great, because doing that by hand was about as tedious as doing that by hand. And actually, the programming in here with Steve's Factory can be done a lot better. I learned that doing this, and I will need to do that over here. But we are on bees, and I am going to get to making those 2 other machines we need, and to dropping a bunch of bees in that chest. Raw DNA is on the way. Alrighty folks, we've got our isolator made, the one that takes MJ. We'll get it swapped out for the real one soon, but we've got ethanol for this, we've got the bees for this, we've got the enzymes for this, but now we just need to craft some blank sequences. Not too difficult, they just require some paper, we have plenty of sugarcane, right? Some gold and some glass. Fortunately I did make that sand maker. We've got so much sand actually, because I didn't tell you, because I did tell you that I hooked all of this up to the same thing, right? So when this thing got full, and I logged out and I came back the next day, it started to fill up, this one. And it filled it all the way up, and then it started to fill up this. And then when this was full, it started to fill up, and I think there's still some in here. Yeah, this one. I got sand over here now, so I've got plenty of sand to make glass for the for this, that's for sure. So gold's really the only thing that's going to be something that we're going to want to automate. And what I mean by that is getting some of these gold oreberry bushes. Now I've only got 1. Yes, I'm going to need to find or acquire more, that's for sure. But the isolator is our next step to getting those genes. And I think an analyzer is going to be the next thing I build. I'll get those swapped out and then get them hooked up over there and get them starting to work. I've got some bees going right now to make more of this raw DNA. We're not even at 1,000 yet, and there's still a bunch of bees in here. It's gone through one stack. It takes a while. It's not drawing too much power, though. I mean, my batteries are still full, so we're doing okay. We're doing okay. Anyway, I will be back when I've got the other piece made, the analyzer. Alrighty, folks, we have got the pieces to make our analyzer. And something else we're going to need to automate somewhere is this DNA dye. I have a feeling that we're going to need to make it often. But anyway, this is the pattern. I don't even know why I did that. This is the pattern for the RF one, which of course we all know is broken. But let's just place it down here and see what we need. I don't even know. Oh, we need... the dye, the DNA dye. So I will need to automate that. My guess is that we put bees in here. They get analyzed and something gets output. Oh, no, you don't put bees in here. You put the DNA sequences that you got off of the Isolator. Analyze what's in there, and this is their output. So we just need power and the dye slot. So I do need to get DNA dye automated. Alright, well that's fine. It's going to require, well actually, yeah, I did have to make some. Now this requires, I did this one because it makes more. Some glowstone, that's real easy. I've got a bunch of redstone and I go over to Micronaut's place and change it into glowstone with his Botania setup. But this purple dye, I've got plenty of lapis, so I can use that. But the red I don't have a lot of. But I did notice this red dye from extra bees with the tinted honey coming from the tinted comb from the maroon bee, which is just Forest and Valiant, both of which we have. 5% chance, it's not too great, but with our genetics work, as long as we get some offspring that have it, we can start to isolate it and then just make it. So we'll have a bunch of red dye for the DNA dye. That's the plan. I think that's the first bee we're going to do some genetics work on, is one to actually help us with our genetics work. How about that? So anyway, we have got the analyzer and the isolator. I'm going to go over and make a visit to Mr. Micronaut and get these exchanged for our friendly RF version, not these horrible MJ versions that don't do us any good. And I will be back. Alrighty folks, we have our isolator hooked up. Got the ethanol. I had to rewire some liquid over here, but we've got plenty of ethanol actually. I took the other barrel that was over there. We finished using up all of the biomass that we had over there. I got it restarted, but we've got 117,000, I don't know if that's millibuckets or buckets, but we've got a lot. So that's just going to keep these fed for a good long time. Again, Steve's Factory Manager keeping the enzymes in there, and I'm going to need to find some way to automate this because it's actually pretty expensive. These take, I guess I can't do it from there, but anyway, these take, 2 gold a pop. It's a 1 ratio. I got plenty of sugar cane to make paper. Okay, I got plenty of sand to make glass, but the gold, gonna need to, I talked about that with the ore berries, but yeah, that's pretty expensive. Gonna need to automate the makings of those. But let's try this out. Haven't got the analyzer set up yet. That's going to take some dye. Going to have to, this DNA dye. Going to have to automate that too. But let's just take one of these many Majestics that we have. In fact, let's just grab a few stacks. I'm sure that we've got some more room in the old gene pool here. Yeah, down to 10 here. So let's just throw in a bunch there. And let's see. Can just drop him in here and we will start to get this broken down. I don't know how long that's going to take. Looks like it's pretty slow. But anyway, I got the analyzer. I'll get that set up probably, maybe over here. Might be a little too far. I don't know. Maybe we'll have it around here. Eventually these glasses will need to be, not will need to be, but eventually will be just replaced with ground, regular good old stone, because the bees aren't going to care if they see sunlight or not, or see clear sky or have access to it or whatnot. But yeah, well, maybe we'll move this closer because it's probably going to need some of these fuels and whatnot. But yeah, gonna need some automation for getting this going. Okay, yeah, this is going. This is still going. That's going to take a while, but we are definitely going to start isolating some genes. Let me talk to Micronaut and I will be back. Alrighty folks, so just talking to Micronaut about a few things, got everything squared away, and we are continuing here. But actually I think I'm going to wrap up the episode about now. It's getting about that time. Got an isolator working. Oh man, I have been gone a while and this is still going. Alright, this is going to take a while. Not even one yet. And let's see how power is doing. We've got some machines that we're running. Yeah, we're still doing great on power. Excellent. Very good. I was kind of worried that setting up all these machines is going to start draining power at an alarming rate. And no, we're still good. That expansion on the solar panels seems to have paid off. I still see some torches. I've been trying to replace all my torches over there too with all these glowstone nooks, just because torches don't really look great all over the place. But I miss some. Anyway, I am going to get this set up, likely much closer, get some things analyzed after I get something eventually isolated, but like that. Bee genetics is in process. I'm feeling very happy that we found a way to get this to work and not have to wait for whatever release update will eventually have that crafting fix. I do need a lot more wheat. I've expanded all the rest of the ground except for the soul sand, which I'm now leaning toward actually changing into dirt and getting more wheat going. That seems to be my bottleneck right now. I need something to speed up the growth, actually, and I know that we were talking about the sprinkler, probably episode 3 or so. It might be time to do that change. Yeah. Or maybe expand to get a second floor over here and have dual layer, huh? Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens when we get back on the next episode. So anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.